better than okay, actually. And it's bright and early in the morning. I'm actually probably going to go back to sleep after I read this. But one of my subscribers, actually, I think it's KV? KV. Kind of cool. I thought when I first looked at it, I thought it was Kelley. So anyway, she told me about this article. And so I decided just to go grab it and see what it was like. And I'm glad I did. Because this kind of is, on the thread that I got it from, is the one with the police report, where boots on the ground, and this kind of just explains it. And it's kind of what I was getting, you know. I hope no one thought I did that like to be mean or anything, because it's not what the case was. But I have a kind of a feeling that's what some people do think. I haven't read through all the comments yet, but the ones I have read were pretty good, but I just have a sneaking suspicion. Anyway, that was not the intention. I myself probably would have done the same thing. I just would have been not that early in the morning, I guess. I don't even know what time it was, but someone said something about early in the morning. But I wouldn't have been up yet, because I'm a night owl. I would have been just going to bed, probably. Oh, my goodness. So, I might have gotten in even more trouble, or maybe they would have asked me to party. I don't know. But, so I kind of scanned just through the first part of this, and I think I've read this before, but I thought it was interesting then, and I don't think I even had a channel. Did I have a channel then? I must have had. Maybe I already, who knows, maybe I already did this, but I think this is a good one to put out there right now, because of just this whole thing, right, you know, with that, and then the 911 call. Oh my God, how embarrassing for that person. I mean, well, let me read this, and we'll get there. So, this was written by a Nate Schweber. It's kind of a cool, fun name to say, Schweber. January 23rd, 2023. Yeah, I didn't have a channel then, right? I don't think I did. No, I did not. Okay. So, I traveled to Moscow, Idaho, following the trail left by a suspect charged with killing 4 college students. There's the house. For some reason, it looks really small in this picture, doesn't it? Still has the wreath on the door. That was like in the beginning then, obviously, because there's no like little blue hut there. So I traveled to Moscow, Idaho after Brian Kohberger was charged with killing 4 students there. I knocked on doors across town, meeting locals wary of intense media scrutiny. I was called a creep by some and greeted warmly by others. Tell them it was a SASQUATCH. You guys, that's hilarious when I first read this, because I saw my first and only SASQUATCH in Idaho, in Moyer Springs, which is just not too far from Moscow. It's it's like the town closest to like the Canadian border. My grandparents used to live there, and they owned a silver mine, and my grandpa was the mayor of that town for a while, and I saw SASQUATCH there. It was it was so crazy. I'll have to tell you about that sometime, but this made me laugh. I'll never forget that SASQUATCH show. It looked so sad. God, I cried and cried after I saw it. I'm such a softie. So anyway, that was a silver-haired Moscow man's advice for what his friend should say to the next out-of-town journalist asking about the quadruple homicide in November. Tell him it was a SASQUATCH. Oh my God. Oh my God. I traveled to Moscow, Idaho for the first time after the December 30th arrest of Brian Kohberger, 28, on charges of first-degree murder. Kohberger studied criminology at Washington State University in neighboring Pullman, Washington. Besides watching him grind his jaw during 2 brief court appearances, which anybody would have been doing, I knocked on doors and visited businesses all around, trying to learn anything I could about him. I met nerve-rattled people wary of the intense media scrutiny. It's crazy watching world news and seeing Moscow mentioned with Moscow, says a grocer, John Connolly, 35, a native who alternated his pronunciations of ow, ooh, and ow. Maybe he wasn't from there totally, but how long had he been there? Well, it doesn't say. Something recurrent struck me. I had read that the last murder in Moscow was in 2015, which it was. I actually did a video on that, and it was the Dave Trail, and 2 others actually along with that. And another guy was shot, but he lived. I mean, they were all shot, but that's a crazy, sad, just sad. And that was someone that knew him. It was like it was his renter. A renter of his. So it looks like maybe it's just people know each other there that do this kind of stuff, because I don't believe Brian did it, but I could be very, very wrong. In conversation, numerous people told me, unprompted, exactly where they were when it happened. Downtown buying a business card. Downtown buying, well, I guess you could go down and buy a business card if you had, like, at the print shop maybe. So, buying a birthday card, in the kitchen fixing lunch, at a playground with friends. I realized how viscerally people would always remember the stabbings of the 4 shining University of Idaho students, which is so true. My cat is chasing a freaking ladybug right now. Yes, they decided to come back out again. Sunny, what are you doing? Missoula, Montana, another Pacific Northwest college town, is where I was born and raised. It made me relate to Moscow, with its walkable downtown, old brick buildings surrounded by some of the West's great scenery. The Palouse region is a hilly dreamscape, contour plowed for wheat. These words like this, I don't know why these always get to me. Vermiculated. I need to learn how to pronounce these words, because, you know, as I get older, I'm worse at this too. Way worse. Sunny. Oh my goodness. There's variegated, there's vermiculated. I should have looked this up and actually asked him to pronounce it for me. With snow and speckled with red barns. In the distances, rise blue forested mountains, which is true. It's kind of it's almost like this blue-green color. It's so beautiful. The sunsets go on forever, which is also very true. Yeah, see how the landscape looks kind of blue? It's because of the trees. Some of the trees there are actually blue in color. I mean, not like electric blue, but you know. My search for details put me into some uncomfortable situations. Seeing reports that Kohberger was a vegan who drank craft beer, I asked around at Rants and Raves brewery in Moscow, which serves a filling vegan burger. By chance, a pair of traveling comics were on, and I craved some levity. The show was disrupted by the misogynistic shoutings of a marijuana farmer who claimed himself a 27-year-old incel because no woman could meet his standards. When I texted about this event to a dear college friend living in Boise, she said, "Northern Idaho is a weird place." Yeah. Orofino native and pawn shop owner Sid Ullery, 69, pulled open his camouflage jacket, Superman style, to make sure I saw the handgun strapped to his chest. Ay. We were talking about how Kohberger was from Pennsylvania. Wow, that was weird. That's the reason why we try to keep things as reclusive as we do, Ullery said, his eyes filling with tears. We don't like it tainted. Anything that comes in from the outside is. So that, right there, that just makes me think they're protecting their own. And Brian, I mean, can you imagine, you guys, moving there from someplace and just then being thrown into the middle of something like this when you're minding your own damn business? If he was, I mean, I'm just, this is pure speculation. I'm just wondering, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, your life, you're thinking, oh, you know, he loves criminology. We like criminology. We do this true crime, right? Imagine. And then this happening. I don't know. Bad feelings about outside scrutiny were acute in the apartment-packed neighborhood around the victim's house near campus. Some neighbors described it as destination for cliquish and prickly fraternity brothers and sorority sisters. Cliquish and prickly. That's a good way to describe it. I've been a professional street reporter for 18 years and have never been called creeper, and gross as much as when I canvassed this area. And so isn't that interesting? Because Kim used the word that the kids called him a creeper, the person at the house. So it makes me... So this guy said he was... Did he say he was older? Or what? Did he say his age? I don't think he did he? He didn't, I don't think. But he did say he'd been reported for 18 years, right? So, okay, so he's probably, in his maybe 30s or maybe, 40s. No, probably 40s, 45, somewhere around there. So think of it as what them calling a creeper would be, right? So that would be like possibly an older guy. That's why I can't see, I don't see this. Creeper to me reminds me of a lot of the police reports down there. A lot of them. I mean, I could name off people right now, but I won't. And that's nothing. I mean, it's crazy is what it is. The Corner Club Bar, a Moscow favorite since 1948. God, it looks like... Look at that truck. Wowza. It's even got orange rims on it. Is that a dog? That's a dog kennel in back. I hope the dog's not in there. Well, probably for hunting. Strap him in there. But look at that place. It looks like just a big cement block. Look at that light coming up from there. Look at that, the spotlights. That's kind of interesting. That makes me think of Banfield. Those look like gas pumps out there, don't they? That's weird. I wonder what those are. Maybe there's propane or something or natural gas or something that's in there, maybe. So, but they were funny encounters when I heard a familiar resilience and reverence. Sonny, what are you doing? What are you doing? She's being crazy. When I asked Kate Miller, 30, proprietor of a Clarkston, Washington coffee stand, her reaction to security cameras showing Kohberger close to her on the day of the murder, she was coolly philosophical. If you work long enough in customer service, she said, statistics show you have a good percent chance of meeting a serial killer. Wow, remind me to get out of that business. In the Windowless Corner Club, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Windowless, that's weird. That's what exactly. Ugh. That's like those dark. I don't like those places like that. They drive me nuts. And they always smell weird, in my opinion. In the Windowless Corner Club, a Moscow favorite since 1948, where two of the victims socialized, a bartender told me the name of its popular pink cocktail served in a large plastic tumbler was the Kinda Fruity. Ugh. But after 2007, it was renamed for ultra-conservative Idaho Senator Larry Craig. My Larry Craig cocktail. Oh my God. Well, we're going to have to look that guy up, that's for sure. When are you opening the curtains? Woman, what are you doing? Girl, she's being crazy. When I asked teenage members of Christ Church if they... When I asked a teenage member... I'm going to put member there, of Christ Church, if they now think Moscow is more dangerous, one young man answered yes. Wow. That's interesting. We saw a bull moose downtown. He said. Those things can be wild, you guys. I mean, you never know if they're going to take on after you, but that is so funny. That is hilarious. Good timing on his part. I needed a laugh. I mean, there's so much fighting going on YouTube right now, and it's just uncalled for. I mean, I don't get it. I just don't get it, man. I mean, the platform is big enough. It's big enough for everybody. I mean, there's room in here, and to spend so much time, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't understand it. I just try to stay out of any and all of it the best I can. Sometimes I'm pushed into it, unbeknownst to me, but You know, I made a comment on somebody's page or something that who's fighting with another one, and all of a sudden I'm in the middle of something. It's nuts. So I don't know. Maybe I can't comment on anything anymore. I don't know. Well, you know, you can't hold me back on that kind of stuff because, you know, then I really will be talking. You guys, you get really sick of me. Oh my God. Okay. All of us warmed ourselves around a crackling wood fire that burns on clear nights. My cat is digging for a ladybug. If you guys are going to hear this, so sorry about that. Oh, she's got her paper bag on the floor. She loves paper bags. That's probably Oh, it's going to get loud in here. Okay, all of us warmed ourselves, yeah, around a crackling wood fire that burns on clear nights outside Slice Tap House just off Main Street. Well, that must be like Friendship Square right there. At closing time, an employee locking up invited me to stay as long as I pleased. Throw more wood on the fire and leave it to burn itself out. Faith in humanity? It's still in Moscow, pronounced with an O. Moscow. Oh, that was short and sweet.